very
Yeah, we can time each other. We can time. I will time when someone else is speaking it. So
correct. Good idea.
So for Dityendu sir, the quotation is, if at first you don't succeed, then hide all evidence that you've ever tried. If at first you don't succeed, then hide all evidence that you ever tried.
when I joined Toastmasters in 2014, it was second half of 2014, and back then there used to be a humorous speech contest, and the district finals used to happen in a district level conference somewhere in October of a particular calendar year. So that was my very first district level conference I attended at Toastmasters, and there was a chief guest who was invited to deliver a keynote speech at that conference. Now, I apologize upfront that I don't remember the name of that chief guest, but that chief guest said a very important line. He said it in Hindi, so I will say it in Hindi. कि जब कोई गोल बनाओ वो सबके सामने शेयर कर दो, उससे आप पे प्रेशर रहेगा कि आप उस गोल को जाके अचीव करो. And what I just narrated in Hindi is actually the exact opposite of the topic that has been given to me by the table topics master. But see, we live in a practical world, and appearances matter. People do remember your failures, and they keep reminding you, not just you, the entire world, about your failures. So if you have got an opportunity to hide your failures, you should do so. And it's actually meaningful as well, because the only point of failure or the only benefit of failure is that when you learn from it. Failures, just glamorizing failure is stupidity according to me. So when the table topics master said that if you don't succeed then do everything to hide your failure, I actually agree with him, because many a times we fail at certain assignments at work, and when we have the annual appraisal meeting, do we go about dissecting the failure and the reasons for it? Or do we project the good work that we did? After all, the benefit that our organization has because of us is because of the successes we had. And the failures have nothing but stepping stones and learning opportunities which should not be repeated in the future. So if someone actually maliciously tries to hold you accountable or point out your failures and put you down because of it, you would be in a soup and you would be on a slippery slope, and you should avoid it under any circumstances. So I think all in all a very interesting topic, and my take on it is that I am for it. Yes, hide your failures whenever the opportunity presents itself, but be very upfront about your failures to yourself, because you have to be able to talk about yourself, about your failures, only then the real improvement will happen. With that, I hand it back over to the table topics master.
Thank you for that very serious treatment. I think this quote was by somebody called Billy Collins, who's a comedian, I think. So I think he just made this statement tongue in cheek, but you have turned it into one of the rules for life. If at first you don't succeed, hide all evidence that you've ever tried. And
Good topic. Thank you.
yeah, and Toastmaster Dityendu made a lot of good points, that the dichotomy of this is that you should be honest with yourself, but try to present a good version to somebody else. Which of course, after a while, it is very easy in human nature to start believing what other people are saying also. So you lose your grip on reality. It happens to everyone. How long you're able to maintain that balance is what makes you great or mediocre. So who's going next? Okay, this is another funny one. It's more about a common observation. It is human nature to go and stand in the middle of a thing. It is human nature to go and stand in the middle of a thing.
Totally agree. It is actually human nature to stand in the middle of the thing. And the beauty of it is, and stand in the middle of a thing and do nothing about it. So incidentally, just a few weeks back, our kids play in the lane behind our house. And this neighborhood guy has been stalking these kids, and he's been raising his voice and volume from his balcony, asking the kids to play a little further down in the lane, not play here because he gets disturbed. Supposedly his mother was not well, then he was not well, and all those kinds of things. But because these are young kids, they're young teenagers, they did not pay heed to it, and they continued playing, and we supported them fully. Until this day, on one Sunday, when this guy comes down, uh, very furious, and he snatches the bat from one of the kids who was playing, breaks it into two, and runs after the kids. And he uses all kinds of abusive words that he possibly can. Now, doing that to young kids, according to us, is totally brutal. It is just not right. But as things would have turned, one of the kids' fathers walked up to this guy, and there was a fist fight. Not a fist fight, there was a proper, it was a Bollywood scene. One guy calling up his brothers and his friends, four scooties coming down, eight people on bikes. And what did we do? We were looking at it from the balcony. We walked down because our kid usually plays with those children. Incidentally, that day he wasn't. But we went down, we tried to sort matters. We were standing in the middle. Okay. Um, I don't know if we could have done more, but the matter got diffused only when the police came. So sometimes I think back and um, sorry, think if we were there just for the heck of standing there, or could we do what the police actually did? That is diffuse the matter. But yes, it's a point of reflection. So back to you, Toastmaster Arjun.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for that anecdote. That just reinforces all the stereotypes that I have about Delhi, I guess. I mean, of course, it happens in Mumbai also all the time. But certain narratives take hold, and we ignore everything that doesn't fit that narrative. And just, I will not remember all the 100 things that happen in the newspaper in Mumbai, but one story like this, I will like remember. Oh, yeah. Okay, who's going next? One of the guests, I hope. Uh, if you're interested. Mm. Okay. So based on just what I said, who's going next? Any volunteers? Anybody?
We
Divyansh, go
can.
ahead.
Divyansh and Smita are there with us.
I have a topic related to just about what Toastmaster Deepthi said. So it's an interesting topic. It's a humorous one also.
Or if Mehak wants to go, Mehak can go
Yeah,
as well.
Mehak can go. Okay, so this topic is, it is one of my rules in life never to notice what I don't understand. It is one of my rules in life never to notice what I don't understand. Wilkie Collins.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arjun, for this beautiful topic. Well, it usually happens like we tend to notice everything around us, and I certainly do it. My mother always says that when you drive a car, you should have noticed everything around you because she is the one, while she is driving the car, she usually notices all the posters. She notices the mall. She notices the 50% sales that has been written on the poster as well. Well, everything she used to notice, but I certainly cannot. When I was driving, I have my focus just on the screen, and I certainly cannot notice even the person who is driving behind or the person who is driving on the side. Well, and that's one of the things like I believe that one should notice, and I don't. And that is one of the things that has make a crisis in my life, because when you don't notice things, you tend to feel like you are in a FOMO, like you are missing out something when you don't notice the thing. So that is the thing with me as well, because I don't notice every other thing that has been going around. And my mother is one something who notices each and everything that has been going around. She even will notice when she is driving, she will notice the song which is being played. She would change the song as well. She would do everything when she is driving, but I certainly cannot. And I think that is a good thing as well, because when you're driving, you should be concentrated on one thing only, and that is one of the things that you should be concentrated on. Well, when you notice the things around you, you also get to know about the world. So I think that is the other point that will tend to make you understand that when you're seeing the world as a whole, or what are things that you see when you notice around, that will increase your knowledge as well. So I think that we should notice, but I certainly don't notice anything. So I wish to improve upon that as well. Thank you so much. Back to you, Toastmaster Arjun.
Thank you. That was a good take on a difficult kind of topic. Uh, so anybody else? I think we'll have to go into repeats already.
Yes, yes, we'll have fun. But if you
Uh,
want, I just thought of a topic for you.
yes,
Something that I definitely cannot speak about.
yes,
So
yes. Let's go.
you might be able to.
Yes, let's go.
All right. So I'll just frame the sentence and give it to you. Okay, fine. All right. The topic is, as our age increases, our remaining lifespan decreases. As our age increases, our remaining lifespan decreases. Toastmaster Arjun.
At first glance, this seems like a fairly tautological statement. Of course, as our age increases, our remaining lifespan decreases. But I would like to add to it and say that it is not a linear thing. That is, I've always felt that the midpoint of a person's life is about the age of 26, 26, 27. And it's not really, if you live like 80 years, it's not going to be at 40 years. It's more like 25, 26, because for us, time is not a linear thing. We measure in our own lives, we measure time by the number of unique incidents that happen per unit of time. So a year to a child of 5 years old is an eternity, and a year to somebody who's 45 is just years just flow by like anything. And so I've always felt that the only way to really put time into your life kind of is to do a lot of random and like new things, so that it feels like you, like for example, everybody remembers how March 2020 felt like it was never ending, right? Like the first time that lockdown happened. And our remaining lifespan decreases, yes, because when you are 40, that you've almost seen almost 99% of everything you're ever going to see. And so you feel like that's not, even though you may have technically 40 more years to go, you actually have, from a child's perspective, the number of new experiences you're going to have in those 40 years is going to be not even worth maybe 2 weeks from the child's perspective. So in that way, yes, the older we get, the more that our lifespan is actually very short for most people. It is not a linear thing. So that was my take. Back to me.
That was brilliant. That was brilliant, Arjun. And what an interesting take. You know how where I got this line from? I got this line from a song. There was a song by Sonu Nigam, this album Classically Mild, and in that there was a line. पल पल बढ़ती उम्र घटे क्यों सदियों से ये राज छुपा है
Hmm.
सोचता हूँ मैं खेल ये क्या है so and as a musician, since I sing, lyrics don't touch me. Probably they don't, by and large they don't touch me. If the melody is good, I enjoy the song, but sometimes, on rare occasions, the lyrics do get stuck in my head, and this was one of those lines.
Yes. That, yeah, actually it forced me to think about it also. I've always felt the other way. Like I actually like There is a friend of mine who is very passive and this thing in his life, and he's like 28, 29 now. So he's saying, I always like tease him like this, but your life is 99% over, dude, because you all you do is just sit here, come to the office. He's very like lazy by nature. So just to like make him angry, these are the arguments that I used to use against him, and so I was able to remember all that for now.
Wonderful. It makes me think that could there have been a different way of measuring age such that it reduced as we grew?
Hmm.
Anyways, this is like getting too much into the head. So let's go to some other topic.
Yes. So who's volunteering? I think we'll have to repeat, or the guest has to come up on the stage.
Divyansh, if you are there, please out. Please turn on your camera. Or else we can go one more round. Deepti.
Yes. Always live in the ugliest house on the street. That way you don't have to look at it.
No, whose topic is this for?
Yours only, ma'am.
Me? Acha,
Hmm.
दोबारा बोलो.
Always live in the ugliest house on the street. That way you don't have to look at it.
Always live in the
Ugliest house on the street.
ugliest house on earth. And that
On the
way,
मोहल्ले का सबसे बदसूरत घर.
just type it. Yeah. I think I need to use my headphones. I've not
Hmm.
plugged in my headphones. Can you give me a second to quickly grab them?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, so the topic you gave is actually like that. No, that I think I hope that is what the poet also meant when he wrote those lines. No, pal pal umr
बढ़ती
ghate.
हाँ, पल पल बढ़ती उम्र घटे क्यों?
Actually a nice line. He used the umr in both senses. Huh. Okay, ma'am. The topic is always live in the ugliest house on the street. Then you don't have to look at it. Always live at the ugliest house on the street. That way you don't have to look at it.
I'll use my 30 seconds. Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Arjun, for that topic. Always live on the ugliest house on the street so that you don't have to look at it. Now, every time I read this topic, it's giving me different perspectives, and I really can't nail on, one thought that is coming to me in my mind. So, on one hand, I feel that this topic has more depth to it than it seems in words. Um, the part of the topic where it says that that way you don't have to you don't have to look at the topic, that basically tells me that you look at the skies, you dream, and the reality sits back. You're there in the house, that's the reality, but then you get to see the stars, you get to dream, you get an opportunity to do that. That's one interpretation I took out of the topic. um, the other interpretation that I feel is that houses are never ugly. Um, uh, or, to me, a house is where you live and you associate memories with it.
And even if it's for a temporary phase. So there were houses that I lived in Mumbai. I was in Mumbai for 2 months. I lived in a house there. I still can smell that smell which was there. I associate a lot of memories with that house. I lived in a house in Seattle for a month and a half, or maybe 2 months, close to 2 months, and I have so many memories. So a house to me can never be ugly. Um, yes, it motivates you to look outside, and it gives you that push or that urge to do better in life. Um, that is how I see this particular quote. So thank you. Back to you.
Okay. Great treatment of a philosophical take on a topic. I thought you were going to go towards that direction that I always used to tell my parents, that whenever I used to roam around with different colored socks or a bad shoe or like shabby clothes outside, my parents would always say, "Why are you going outside looking like that?" So I would always say, I mean, I don't have to look at it. It's your problem that you have to look at it. Or, I mean, why will I feel bad? And then because I thought nobody looks at anybody's shoes, and so and so I because I don't look, so I thought nobody looks at my shoes. Of course, over time I have realized that there are many people who look at other people's shoes. Uh, so I have had to wear some better shoes, but it's
That,
still my
that
nature
is
is
where
not.
most people are interested in.
Yeah, I mean, who looks at shoes? And
No, they
like,
do. Shoes. So there's another quote which says that you judge a man by the shoes
yeah,
he wears.
yeah, but like I said, I never notice what I don't understand because I don't do it. I like I never look at somebody's shoes, but there are so many people who look at it. So
Yeah.
That means people around you are so well dressed that their shoes never turned out to be the sore point.
hmm, my shoes are, and I can never find my the two socks that are of
Matching
the
pair.
same pair. They're always, one is white and one is black always, and actually like I now actually like it wearing like that. So so whenever my parents would tell me, I said, why will it bother me? Like I don't have to look at it. You are the one, so you don't look at it.
By the
So
way, the latest trend in the market is a different pair of socks match. So there's one stripe,
see, I
black and white
told
with
you. See,
one
that
yellow.
is everything that I do is going to turn into fashion eventually. Okay.
True, true,
I always knew
man.
it. I always knew that this was going to be a fashion. See,
Yeah,
and
you
another
have it
fashion
in.
that I had started was, why do we only wear like ripped jeans? Why can't I like shirts be ripped, or like some like all
Off
like a
shoulder.
half sleeve?
Yeah.
Like why is only like ripped, or why are not our shoes ripped? My shoes used to be ripped and a toe is always sticking out, like the big toe or the little toe. So why is that not fashionable? I always used to say this also. Okay, I'll make that someday it will become a fashion to have your like little toe pointing out of it.
It's already a fashion in India. It's called poverty.
But no. It's not a see. It's not fashion if poor people have to do it. It's only a fashion if, see, like abs everybody used to have in the past, all the poor people farmers, but it was not a
Yeah.
fashionable thing then. Abs and muscles and everything. Back then, the fashion was that to look as though you did minimal amount of hard work possible. Right? You wanted to look fat and you wanted to look soft and everything, so that is how they came to know that you were rich. But now, then it became like, since the last 50 years, because of all this easily available junk food and everything, it became so easy to be fat. Now people want to look like they have the time to work out in a gym. So now again, softness has become associated with like shabbiness and poverty. And now hard, because you have to have so much disposable income to
True.
have time in the day just to work out. It's like such a stupid thing if you try to explain to some alien beings what exercise is. It is so stupid. Like, see, we go to some place just to. So yeah, so it's never fashion if poor people have to do it. It's only a fashion if rich people like choose to do it, and then it's like percolates down. I mean, isn't that how cricket also started? That people, just all the Maharajas and everybody used to play cricket, and so then everybody, it turned into an aspirational thing. cricket, Royal Enfields, even though these are both like pretty, Enfield is so like that only. So many people grew up with that. Anyways, I'm just digressing. So next topic.
Mehak, let's give it to Mehak. Speak at all. Mehak just keeps sitting there and keeps smiling always.
Hmm. Okay. Do you know this is a little bit of again a hit, somewhat funny thing. Few in life are felt to deserve an encore. An encore means like when a musician has performed well, we say, please do an encore. Matlab, once more, like how we Indians say. So, but in life, we feel like very few people are like, yeah, yes, once more. Okay. Few in life are felt to deserve an encore.
Thank you so much for this topic. Well, this topic made me realize that there's a very nice quote or a saying that says that when you are doing scuba diving or paragliding or parasailing, it's you cannot fail in this. And if you fail, it's like that you are gone. You cannot fail in doing these type of things. Well, that's one of the things that make me remind of this quote. Like when some people is performing, there will always be one chance that you say like please start again or do once more. Because when you see that it's and how about a parasailing or a paragliding? Can you ask someone if it's the last option, you failed in that. You cannot say that once more you need to do or please do it once more because you're no more at that point of time. So it made me realize that this topic is somewhat associated with this only, the parasailing or the paragliding, where you cannot have once more in life if you just fail. Well, in most other things, we can have once more in life where we want to live life once again. We usually feel that we want to live it once again, or we want to reach to the stage back again where we want to start again. So I think that is also one of the things where we can say that please we want once more to live that moment, to cherish that moment. And it usually happens with all of us where we want a moment to live again, to relish again. When we are going on a trip, we usually feel like, oh, can we do it once more? Can we do it once again? Can we go back once again? We do not try to live in that moment because and usually when that moment is over we feel, oh, why did this happen, we want it once more. And it is something like that, we want it more and more eventually, that we want this in life, we want that in life, and it happens to be that we want more of it because we don't realize the importance of where we are till now. And so, some years back, same happened with me, where we were sitting in the room. My sister just came and she switched off the AC. She said that we don't have to switch it on, just give it a rest because it was switched on for a long period of time. So I was very much angry at her. I said that why let it be on? Please, why you doing like this? Please make switch it on. And she didn't bother to switch it on even after the after few minutes actually light went off, and it went off for at least 6 to 8 hours I believe. And I said like what is this, the room is not cool at all, and you did this. So I think that was the time where I said that when something is being that it should happen, it let it happen. Because I believe that if that time the AC was switched on, the room was cool, we could have time. And so I believe this is my belief, like live in that moment, so that you don't have an option to get on once more, and you don't regret that where the moment has been lost. Thank you so much for this topic. Back to you.
Oh, that was a wonderful take. Uh, through a very relatable metaphor. Great topic. So now is the guest is Divyansh mic okay? Can you volunteer, sir? Or do we have to go for another round? I think if nobody is coming, then I think one more round and then we'll call it.
Yeah.
Huh?
Today's table topic session is also making me realize that sometimes we unnecessarily complicate things also. Like the topic that you gave to Mehek, I was going down a philosophical lane, world, red, green.
No. I'm just checking if it's even visible because
It was
uh,
not visible
Yeah,
the
it
first time
wasn't
we were
visible.
talking.
Yeah, because of the
oh,
background, na, the virtual
yeah,
background.
that's what I'm checking. So Mehak actually couldn't see the symbol.
She couldn't.
Oh,
Yeah. So you
Hmm.
can just type it in the chat, Dipindu, because we're just a handful.
I think it's
So
because the paper is the same color as the wall, maybe.
no, I think because of the virtual background, it's getting
Yeah,
blurred.
yeah, but
yeah,
it may be
Yes,
maybe
yes.
a different color paper will work. I don't know. No, it is. If you
it's
keep it in front of
better.
your face,
Yeah.
it's better though. It is better though.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mehak. I thought I was timing you, but you were not able to see the cue cards.
Hmm.
Anyways,
Never,
it's okay.
So yeah,
nevertheless,
we
yeah,
even
we
I was
were.
going to go for something very complicated for that topic, for Mehak's topic.
Yeah, I know, but it's nice to hear into such a simple,
Hmm.
very nice. Good.
Yeah, with Arjun having witnessed so many of Arjun's table topics, I think what Arjun brings to the table with respect to table topics, I think he has really raised the bar, and the Toastmasters
Absolutely.
community would be richer if we could adopt this kind of philosophy or this kind of an approach when preparing table topics or
Absolutely.
even
Totally
or
agree.
while speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the topics are they are witty, quirky, yes, but you can speak on them and these are the kind of topics you actually have to make an effort to make sense of it and untangle it and speak something. So that way it's challenging as well,
Yeah.
and it's not obvious, it's not straightforward, it's a little, there is little bit of twist, but it's
Yes,
excellent.
and I like to give such topics because it gives me also a certain like new ideas now about
Yeah.
how another somebody else can look at the same topic.
Oh yeah.
I'm noting down all your topics.
Hmm.
So it's going to be one day food for thought, one topic each day
Hmm.
type. Yeah, it's really nice. Good.
Give one more topic to me, Arjun. I didn't get a
Yes.
chance in the
Okay.
second.
Rudeness is the weak person's imitation of strength. Edmund Burke. Rudeness is the weak person's imitation of strength.
Oh. Arjun, I think you are a superficial human being and you just hide behind fancily crafted words strung together to sound intelligent. That's all who you are. You are nothing more, according to my honest opinion. I am a true. So many a times, smart people with their false sense of smartness think that attacking someone personally will help them achieve their way with that person, and it happens in real life because at the end of it all of us have evolved from more primitive life forms, and we human beings live in a civilized society. And what do we call uncivilized society in Hindi? Say we call it jungle. And in a forest there is only one rule, that the weak gets eaten. That's the only rule. And when someone is rude to us, and if we are weaker than that person, we would react to it. So even though I agree 100% with the table topic given to me, that rudeness is just a weak person's puffery and nothing more, but it is actually a test of our strength as well. It is a test of our self-awareness as well. If we are aware of the situation that is playing out in front of us, the rudeness that is thrown at us will not affect us. But if we are not aware, if we are mentally weak, if we are emotionally vulnerable, then that rudeness will hit us like poison arrows. And even though the person in front of us, the person doling out rudeness to us, is doing it out of weakness, but we will still lose. And this is the law of the jungle, because if you allow your weaknesses to get highlighted in front of anyone, you will get eaten. An example of it is pufferfish. You must have heard of pufferfish. Pufferfish does not have any power, it does not have any poison fangs or anything, it just bloats itself up. And rude behavior is nothing but blurting out vitriol and poison in front of others. But if we know that what we are seeing in front of us is cannot touch us, physically cannot touch us, then chances are that we will be able to deal with it in a much better way. And with that, I'll stop speaking.
Yes, very good.
And then I see. When I made a comment about you, it was a part of my speech. Okay.
Yes, yes, of course,
Yeah.
of course. Uh, yeah, and I just yesterday or day before yesterday only, I was watching this video where a bunch of rich YouTubers had gone to this place called Start near Zurich or something. It's like supposed to be a very aristocratic kind of place, kind of like a very like Altamont Road or something. Like the whole city is this, and these people are mentioning how there is a dinner that costs $1,500 just to get in, and it's a buffet. But it's like a gatekeeping mechanism, na, so that they keep all the
Yes.
undesirable people out. And I don't blame them, to be honest. Like I have traveled through local trains, and I also felt many times that why are all these other people on my train? And so yes, if you have the wealth to do it, you will try to exclude anybody who is not going to you, who you don't like hanging out with. But yeah, they did mention about how all these super rich people, they are like so polite about everything, and like it's very rare. It's only the newly rich people who are like who have been like listening to all the abuse, and then they are like trying to show themselves that they are something. But people who have generational wealth, amongst them it is considered very like a sign of very new money. For them, new money is as good as poor. Okay, oh, you just first generation. Amongst us, for we admire the first generation people. Oh, he did it in the first generation. But for them, hi, this is just naya paisa. Okay, like because some things they think can only come after 3 or 4 generations of like
Yeah. But
so.
it was a great topic, Arjun. I wish I could have spoken in a better way. I started rant. I basically ranted out,
Hmm,
but I think this was a perfect topic to build a story upon.
yes, rudeness is the weak person's imitation of strength. Okay,
Yeah.
so now we have Divyansh.
Oh,
Can you
finally we have got Devyansh.
Yes,
have you
thank
been
you.
listening to all the
Yes,
things that have been going so far?
yes, I was. A very good morning to everyone.
Good morning. Uh, so would you like to go now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Uh, so now your topic will be only those who are capable of silliness can truly be called intelligent. Only those who are capable of silliness can be called truly intelligent.
Yes, that's an interesting topic, and there's a lot of examples, as you may know. The biggest one that went straight to my mind was Albert Einstein, as you know. Um, although he wasn't much of a you know like a appearance type voice celebrity, but still he had the brains to change the future and make everyone's life better. And I think um, society think of silliness as when someone goes um, when someone goes outside the boundaries, when they want to cross the boundaries that society has limited for them. And when someone crosses them, obviously there are only two possibilities. They're gonna either make everyone life better, or worse. Well, Uh, okay, I'm sorry. This is all I could have said. I'm really sorry.
No, why are you apologizing? Take the time, no?
Yeah, no.
Speak of the other examples that are coming to you.
I would take my example. Like, yes, people call me silly because right now I'm doing my bachelor's, and plus I'm looking for, doing some jobs and stuff. Even though I do have, like a family which, like, my father can provide me, they can afford, but I'm still looking for some jobs and stuff. And everyone else is, like, they're just pressuring me, and they're just saying things that why you have to do work, why do you want to do work when you can just, focus on your studies. Well, what I want to do is I want to go out, and I would just want to, see the world. Okay, see the world, and I just want to have something that I could say that yes, I have achieved this, and in a young age. And yeah, that timer is gone. So yeah.
Okay. Great attempt.
Yeah, thank you.
Uh,
Thank you very much.
and I would also like encourage, yes, you should always have you should always, I think you should always leave your parents' house for at least a period of time, because it's an important part of development. And I think I have to felt this like it is a natural thing where the parents themselves start behaving in such a way that the kid feels like leaving. Like it is, you don't have to like make the decision, but you also feel like, there is no respect for me here, I have to go. So it is a natural part of development. I mean, if you look at any person in history or anybody that we respect, they all have to leave home. In all of our mythological stories, the hero's journey is where there is a happy home, and then for a period of time they have to go somewhere else and change themselves
Yeah.
and be a changed person and then return home. This same motif appears in the Lord of the Rings or Ramayana or Mahabharata, where there is Vanvas everywhere. And basically, every epic or mythology in the world has this theme. No, there is no hero who just stays in his own place and does a good thing.
You have to step out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, you have to be something else and then come back. And everybody understood this, so that all
Yeah.
the mythological stories have this structure. So yes,
Yeah. I think it's
so
a great take, and there's this guy I follow on Instagram, Raj Shamani karke, young guy, probably your age. I mean, Arjun, Divyansh, your age kind, and he speaks nice. So just yesterday, the reel that he posted, it said that if you're staying with your parents, it's good, it's great, you're committed. But if you decide to move out, it's not disrespecting them. It's about respecting yourself more. You know, it's about worrying about your own self-respect as compared to disrespecting them. No,
Yeah.
just put your point forward, however you would want to, and then make that change. Ensure that that change happens. So that really touched me, and it's so much in sync with what you guys just shared. So
yes, and there is always this human nature that parents will want to be the same person. No, they will not want
mm,
somebody else to change also, because they have their identity, because they spent 15-20 years specializing in taking care of you. Okay, and
correct.
they have spent so much time just feeling guilty about something that may have happened when you were 1 or 2 years old, where they were careless, or and so they have this whole specialization built on, oh my, like, what does Divyansh need now, what does Divyansh want now, like, and now suddenly you are like, don't call me, I'm not going to call every day or something like that. And then it becomes like a huge skill that they specialize. They have done a PhD in taking care of Divyansh, and now that PhD has no value. Okay, so of course it will be a like a big it's like doing a PhD in hydrogen fuel cells, where the whole world is gone towards solar, and now you have a PhD in hydrogen fuel cells. Nobody wants you. So of course they will want to make use of their PhD. So that is how I put it.
Well, then everyone has to make sure that they make their parents feel that their efforts were not in vain.
Hmm.
Just have to make sure.
So who's going next? I think we'll are just going in rotation only now. So
You want to go next, Arjun? I've got one
yes,
for you.
please, please, yes.
Okay, so topic for Arjun is there can be no order without chaos.
There can be no order without chaos. Yes, I will repeat what Jordan Peterson used to say about this, that order and chaos are like yin and yang. You have to have enough of both, because too much order is orthodoxy and ossification and fossilization, where like there is too much order, where it's this strict hierarchy, and where nothing really can change. But too much chaos is anarchy, where you are not pursuing any new ideas. I mean, this can apply in anything in your own life, as a society, in biology even. uh, for example, in your own life, it may be that you are too orderly, where you have written a plan for the next 3 years, and you're disciplined enough, or maybe boring enough, or maybe unspontaneous enough to actually follow through for the next 3 years what you wrote down on 1st January 2022. Okay, like I mean, you have to have a plan, but then, so yes, I am not, I'm saying that you need to have both, and of course we have some strengths. Like some people are much more okay with being spontaneous or chaotic, and some people are going to be much more of a tendency towards being much more disciplined and process oriented. So for the topic you have given, there is no order without chaos. I will That is too general, and it does not make sense unless we put it in a context, and the context that I would like to put it in is, uh, there is no, like, harmony. There should be harmony between order and chaos. uh, you need a kind of, in your organization, if you're trying to run an organization, you need those people who are generators of ideas, but whose personal lives or whose work ethic is not very good, but they are very good at coming up with new things, just because they are too open to everything. Okay, and they don't know what they themselves are going to do 2 days down the line. And you need those boring accountant types who will be 3 months, you know what they're going to do in 3 months down the line. So that is how I'll reframe it. You need a balance of order and chaos.
Wonderful, beautiful treatment.
I didn't give the exact, there is no order without chaos. uh Maybe, I didn't treat the exact
It's it's
quote
true
head
for
on.
everything. It's true for every single thing that exists.
Yes, 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 everything
Universe
in your,
wouldn't have existed without Big Bang theory.
yes,
Even water cannot exist until and unless hydrogen and oxygen come together, and they don't come together in peace.
yes, yes,
Coming together of hydrogen and oxygen is a violent process.
yes,
So,
yes,
I mean, there is chaos whenever. So, until and unless you have got faced some hardships in life, some chaotic moments in life,
yes,
you wouldn't become calm and stable. So,
yes, 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 for sure, for sure. Like all the people of my, like for my, like of my father's generation, like they just grew up in the shadow of the independence, and the way they treat money versus how I treat money is so different. I mean, there cannot be a conversation. For example, I can easily leave a McDonald's like halfway if I don't like it. I mean, for me, it's just, there's so much, but for him, it is like, how can you throw food? It is a big sin to throw food.
the actual statement that I had read was something different, which I remember now. The statement that I had read was, there is order in chaos. There is order
Oh,
in chaos. This was the statement I had read on one of my friend's WhatsApp, and that
order and chaos. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know how to treat that. I would say there should be order in chaos, but I don't know how would you treat there is order in chaos.
It seems like Deepthi has some things to say about it.
Yes,
If
yes.
we are going one more round, then Deepthi can take it as a table topic. But otherwise, we can just have chit chat and
No,
then
no,
wrap it
no.
up.
You reminded me of this poster. I have always been very disorganized. Okay, you look at my cupboard, you look at the books around me. I have always been very disorganized. So, but so I bought this poster for myself from uh, Connaught Place. They used to sell posters, okay, and they still do, but we don't go. That's a different thing to buy ones. But and it said, if I'll be organized, I'll be dangerous. So I got that one for myself, and now I have a deeper connect with that poster. So
Hmm.
that is the reason why I was smiling. But
All
yes,
right.
I'm okay with another table topic.
Okay, but now I think it's Mehak's turn.
Yes.
Or like, does this new guest, Pratyush Gupta, want to go? Pratyush, are you there?
Yes, thank you for extending
Uh,
the show.
do you know how table topics work?
Yes, yes, I know. And
Okay,
I'm a Toastmaster for
okay. So I
around
will give you a topic now. It is a quotation. I always advise people never to give advice. By P.G. Wodehouse. I always advise people never to give advice.
it rarely happens to me that someone does not give me any type of advice. When I wake up in the morning, I start getting advice from my family members that it is not the correct time to wake up in the morning. When I go to work and I execute a project, I get as advice from my coworkers that you should do it in this way that the client accepts your offer, and you should also maintain a good relationship with your employees. So when it comes to giving any type of advice, I do the same thing to the people, because what I get is the thing what I deliver. What comes in will what go out. But this statement I have got today as a table topic has made me realize that this is the correct statement in the world, because the best advice for someone is he or she himself or herself. The advice you can give to yourself is the best advice, because the advice the other will give to you might be difficult for you at that very point of time. So if you try to execute that advice, you might fail. You are the person that will understand that what do you need at that very moment, and the advice that will come out of your soul or out of your brain will give you the best output. If people around us, including us, will realize this small fact, then we will obviously stop ourselves from giving advice to others at each and every moment, because all the persons are giving themselves their own advice, because everyone wants to improve. No one is someone's their own enemy. So we all are giving us some advices, and people around us must accept it, because they also know that they are their best advisors. Over to table topic.
Thanks for that treatment. Uh, for me, I've always, I don't know, it's my nature to always not like if somebody makes a very bold and very claim that, oh, this is always like this. It's my nature to think that that cannot be true. And so I start thinking about how I can disprove this person. So I've always felt that people who are in the business of giving advice, like professional advice givers, like self-help motivators, speakers, or everything, like anybody can give that advice. Like they are able to say things like live in the moment and also but plan for the future in the same sentence without understanding that these two things are actually opposed to each other. Okay, and when you ask, okay, now today what am I supposed to do? Today am I supposed to live in the moment, or today am I supposed to live as though in 20 years I will do something big? You know, oh, that I have given you the main advice. Now you give me my money. Okay, like give me my money. Like I have given you the advice that you needed. Uh, so this business of giving advice is always, but yes, I credit to them that they are able to convince people that they are doing something useful. I think that is what we should learn from these people, that about how charisma is able to override almost everything else. Like charisma is able to override common sense. And I mean, I can't make a career out of giving such contradictory advice, but some people can. So I think it's a great thing that they
Yeah.
do. Okay, now I think it's Mehak's turn. Mehak, the topic for you is 3 o'clock is always too late or too early for anything you want to do. 3 o'clock in the afternoon is always too early or too late for anything you want to do.
Okay, thank you so much for this topic. Well, 3 o'clock is always the time that is too late for me to start with anything. Because usually when I was in my class 12th, I had my tuition at that time at 3 o'clock, and I used to come from school to home around 2:50 or 3 o'clock itself. And it was very difficult for me to go to the tuition at that point of time itself. So I used to say that, why, sir, why are you keeping this tuition at this time? I'm not able to come to the tuition. I have my school. I'm not able to complete that. I have to come early. I've not even had my food. So that was the time where I felt that how bad it was, that at 3 o'clock itself you have every sort of thing in a place, because you have to have your food, you have your tuition, you have to come home, and you have to even sleep in the afternoon at 3 o'clock only. So that was the time where I felt that, can we have some more time in this world, because we usually have 24 hours, and in that particular phase where we have every sort of thing at between 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, we have everything. Even our Toastmasters meeting itself, because at 3:30 p.m. Well, like I usually do not sleep on Saturdays because of the meeting. And in fact, when earlier also, it used to happen that the 5 o'clock and the between the time the 3 and the 5, that is the time where everything would happen. The last week when I was having the meeting, it was at 3:30 p.m. Itself, and I also had my there was something festival for the college was going on. I also have my Google Meet for the college, and at that point of time itself, I had my meeting with the friends as well, because we have to discuss something about related to the project, and we also had to go to some place, of mall. I remember, because it was the time and it was the weekend itself. So that how difficult it becomes, that when you have to see the time between that 3 to 5 p.m., because that's I believe that that's the hour, and on Saturdays that's mostly the weekend hour where we have to spend time with the family. So please, can we have some more time on earth left? But it's okay, we have to organize the time.
Okay,
Thank you so much. Back to you.
a very topical and very relevant to this group table topic. I always felt that it was in the sense that 3 o'clock you cannot start anything new, because it's already half the day is over. But you cannot even it's like it's just a weird time, because 6 p.m. is too late or too early, because you cannot even start the evening recreational activities. You cannot go out to roam at 3 p.m. also, and the day is already half gone. Now it's Dipyendu's turn. It's Master Dipyendu.
Yeah, sure.
Then we'll go for Divyansh, Pratyush again, and then let's see if uh, how many more rounds you want. Toastmaster Dipyendu, your topic is there is always free cheese in the mousetrap. There is always free cheese in the mousetrap.
When we set out to do any activity in life, there usually are multiple paths to it or multiple methods to do a particular activity or to reach a particular goal. Some roads or some paths might be more time consuming but safe. Some paths might be less time consuming but risky. This is a typical trade off that we have to deal with and decide upon when looking to achieve any goal. There are many situations in life wherein we know that something is not good for us, we still end up doing those things. For example, we know that eating junk food is bad for the health, but many a times we are simply not able to control ourselves. Maybe we will try we will try to compensate for eating junk food by going for a rigorous workout session in the evening, but all that does is lessen the guilt or lessen the extent of mistake we perceive. But the junk food and the bad oils and the bad nutrition that went into our body still went into our body. So when the table topics master says that the mousetrap always has cheese, it simply means that even the most dangerous things which we know are harmful for us have got something which titillates us, which seduces us, and we many a times are not able to control ourselves, and we still try to stick our hand in the mousetrap thinking that we will oversmart the mousetrap, or we will be faster than the mousetrap and we'll be able to eat the cheese and still stay safe. But fact is that what's bad is bad. What's dangerous is dangerous. If you want to go and have the cheese present in the mousetrap, wear iron gloves. That is the only way to grab the cheese without getting hurt by the mousetrap, which simply translates into, if you are planning to eat junk food on some day, go for a rigorous workout session in the morning and a rigorous workout session in the evening. Then there are chances that the junk food will not have any adverse impact on your body. But what the table topics master has, the situation he has thrown at us, can be applied to almost everything in our lives, wherein we know that something is not good for us and we still end up making a swipe at it. Romantic relations are another example, but I'm not going to go deep into it. Thank you so much.
Yes, everything. Yes, Toastmaster Jitendra, you are the right person for this topic because uh, why will the rat go for the cheese if there is no cheese? I mean, anybody who does something wrong, there is some reward to everything. Recently, I never understood smoking, people who smoke, but recently I learned that actually people who smoke, like nicotine, actually helps learning a lot. And especially as you get older, for your plasticity to work properly, to learn new things, a lot of people, a lot of high level researchers do use Nicorette gums or patches or anything. Basically, nicotine is not bad. The delivery mechanism through the smoking is bad. So I was like, okay, fine. So there is something to people. It's not just something just uselessly people are doing. Of course, it becomes an additional thing, but there is cheese there.
Yeah.
There is actually.
Yeah.
Uh, so now Toastmaster guest Divyansh's topic is uh, if you wish to forget anything on the spot. If you wish to forget anything on the spot, make a note that this thing is to be remembered.
Sorry, can you repeat the topic?
If you wish to forget anything on the spot itself, you make a note that this thing is to be remembered. You make a note to yourself. Matlab, if you tell yourself that this thing is to be remembered, you will instantly forget it.
Well, remembering things and bad memories is what we all suffer from. Everyone wants this ability to, forget bad things. And the thing about those bad things or some memories are that the more you want to forget about them, the more they go deep inside your brain, the more they get embedded in your brain, and you'll never get to forget them. The best way, from my perspective, to forget something, um, to forget something, someone, or anything, is to do everything, everything in your way, anything possible that you can do in that situation. Don't leave anything, because after that you won't have any regrets. The only thing that keeps on reminding us about those things are, oh, what if I would have done this, that kind of situation, would have been worked out, something like that. So the best thing you can do is just try everything. Give it your 100%, or give it your 150%. Give everything. And yeah, that's the best way to forget the things, because then you won't have any regrets. Thank you.
Okay. Turning. So people should always make a note that this thing I will never forget, and that is the way to forget it.
Yeah. You just give it your 100%.
I have to remember this. Of course, it is a light-hearted thing. Okay. So do we want to call it off now, or do we want to go right? So that is at the end of a quiet chat. This felt like a quiet Sunday morning cafe run.
Sir, what did you say, Arjun?
This felt like a meeting with friends on a Sunday morning in a cafe,
Yes,
like having
it
dosa
did.
or something.
Absolutely.
I actually had dosa for breakfast.
Oh, okay.
So
But yeah, it was great, Arjun.
Thank
I
you.
think the session was wonderful.
And let us all unmute. And we can share. Mehek, this goes out to you the most. Do we want to do voting, or
No, no.
we can leave it for today,
No,
right?
no.
Yeah.
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 This was more like a excuse for me to finally dress up or wake up on a Sunday morning. So this is the new time for the meeting?
No, no, no.
No, this
I
is just a
think
one-off thing.
Mehak and Deepthi were not available yesterday, I
Oh,
think.
cool. Even though I don't mind this, because the earlier something is on a Sunday, the more now I have a productive day ahead of me. Because earlier it would take me like whatever the earlier time was, 3:30 to sit on a chair. Now I sat on a chair till 12:30. That habit will continue for the rest of the day. So okay, had a nice time with you guys.
yeah.
Same here, same here.
Yes.
So Divyansh, we are meeting for the first time. Have you attended our meetings earlier as well?
Yes, I did.
Good.
I've attended like 3 meetings, like
Oh,
now,
okay.
as a guest.
You want to give a quick introduction once more?
Yes. So hi everyone, I'm Divyansh, and I'm a college student. I'm doing my bachelor's in science from Agra University. I'm in second year, and I got to know about this platform from the site called Meetup, I guess, and someone put up that invitation up there. I was really desperate to just go out and talk my mind to people, and I couldn't find anything. So I got this opportunity to speak up and everything. This kind of helped me a lot. So here I am.
And so Mehak, are we on Meetup as well? Okay.
I was facing some problem while registering for it.
It is the
Oh,
easiest thing in the world, though. I mean, meetup is the
Yeah.
how did
No, but
Divyansh
I
find
can.
us on Meetup?
OSC.
Uh,
I think Gurgaon Orators. They have a meetup. Is that correct, Divyansh? Right?
Sorry, what?
The club for which you
Yes,
saw that meetup
yes,
was for, I think, Gurgaon Orators or
yes,
something.
yes.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Through Anjana ma'am, Diptendu.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And where do you put up Divyansh?
Sorry, what?
Where do you live?
I live in Delhi, Kirkuduma.
Kolkata.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good, good, good. So How has the experience been? I mean, do you like the format of this meeting? Do you think you can benefit something from
Yes.
Toastmasters in general?
Yes. I think this is a really, anyone who came up with this platform, and that's a really genius idea. But it helps a lot. Like people like me, or people who have difficulty in public speaking, or communication, and they are basically introverts. Um, Also, I think there's a few things that can get a little bit better. That is like the timing. I know, like the basically motive of these table topics is to be precise and short, but there are some topics that can have, like, a timing of 5 minutes or something like that length.
Yes.
But yeah, sure, that this is a really great platform. The work structure, everything's really great. People are really great. They're
Yeah.
friendly. Yeah.
Yeah. You know that this organization is quite old. It started in 1924.
Yeah,
Do you know that?
I didn't know that. I got to know that after I joined it, and I searched it up. And after Deepthi ma'am, she also invited me, and I started, she told me about this organization, club, and everything. It's a lovely
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Imagine Toastmasters is older than BJP and RSS and Congress party. So there must be something valuable in this community, right? That's why it has
Yeah.
persisted for
Yes.
such a long time, almost
Yes.
100 years.
Yes.
So stick around, do keep attending meetings, and whenever you feel that you want to formalize your association with the club, and we are here for
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sure. Thank you.
and yeah, all of us have benefited a lot from Toastmasters, and see, we can be casual at times, but it is a volunteer driven thing, right? So when a table
Yes.
topics is given to you, you can be casual about it and just just speak whatever was given. Just be linear about it. Like if
Hmm.
there are some words in the table topic, you pick up those words and just blurt out the first thoughts that come
Yes.
into the mind. So you could
This is
take
not
that approach.
this is not a
Or
viva that I will
yeah, or you could just think how to construct a story out of what has been given. Is there any real life
Yes.
incidents that matches with the topic that has been given? Is there some message in the topic that has been given? You can think on those lines and then try to convey your point and impress people, not
actually.
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
actually, I should say this is like a viva where you take the parts of the question that you know and just talk endlessly about it.
Yes, and but you should
You
be
don't
able
have
to
to.
dig something from your mind, something relevant,
Yes.
right? So it's a very good practice for practical world as well, and
Yes.
many people do continue with Toastmasters because they are able to see benefits of their Toastmasters experience in their professional lives.
Yes, I would say I am one of
Yeah,
them.
yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely one of them. The benefit, I mean, it is all very unquantifiable, but
Yes.
I've always been good at like writing stuff, but communicating what I wanted to communicate on a page. See, when you, my biggest lesson in Toastmasters was that I thought if something works on the written page, it works on the spoken word also, which is not true. What works to read, it does not work when to hear. So for me, that has been the biggest, because practicing and coming and talking about the topics so that other people will find and go with me where what my mind is, that has been very important. And then it just leads to a lot of opportunities at everywhere, because when you are the technical person at work and also you can talk well,
Yes.
you can read, write, and think. I mean, you can work also, and you can think and write and speak. I mean, you get so many advantages. You get so many opportunities, because now you are able to talk to manager people. You are able to talk to technical people. You are the bridge, and you become that what you call that linchpin kind of, very slowly, slowly. So communication is, after a while, communication becomes the most important thing, because
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, the more senior you get, every job turns into a sales job eventually. I mean, it just you can try to resist it, but it is a sales job. The more and more senior you become, and the communication becomes more important.
Yes. So true, Arjun. So true. So yeah, I mean, Mehak, you want to say something? How has your experience with Toastmasters been? Because You are probably going through the same phase of life as Divyansh.
Yes, yeah, I think there has been a change in me because what I felt, what I was in school, and what I am now, that's totally different. I have seen a side of story because earlier I was not like confident to take up any role anywhere actually. But what I have seen is like I've taking up roles, eventually coming to it, and like I think it has well not the communication because it has been a phrase that I've recently joined, so I'm communication will improve. It will, but I think the confidence that has built up, and that is the one other thing that I have felt a change in myself, that I am able to uh, take up any role on my own, not by pushing up by someone else. Like I can raise my hand or something, like I want to take up that role. Even in the college itself, I think that has one thing that has changed. So maybe one thing that has put in a better position to me, like I can take up any role, I can take up any take part in any activity with whatever it is going on in college. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what has changed.
And what about you, Deepti? What about you?
Can go on and on about Toastmasters. So, no, really, I'm a wife of a Toastmaster of 7 years. And I've always been in praise and in awe of the benefits that I've seen in him, but I never took the plunge, primarily because of house responsibilities, small kids, job, everything. But COVID came to me as a blessing, because it was just a matter of spending just 2 hours
Yeah.
on a Saturday evening. And that is where I started. And in the last 2 years, I've seen myself also change. And I'm happy about the change that I see in myself. And I've switched jobs. I switched jobs after 8 years.
Yeah.
And so that has given me a level of confidence and, like, added to what each one of you are saying. And plus, very recently, in fact, today I had a eureka for myself. A meeting is also a mood lifter. So
Oh
all the
yeah.
morning today, I have been so grumpy. My husband has actually been calling me names. He's like, "You're so grumpy on a Sunday morning." And I had plans to drop out of the meeting. But the moment Mehak called up, and she was like, if he's just log into the meeting, I was like, okay, I might as well attend it. So, and now I feel much better. And I noted down all the table topics, and I'm sure to sit down and write, and that will give me some peace of mind also. And so, to me, it's a beautiful place to be. I mean, all of you are like-minded, and there's so much to learn. And I take back that age thing today with me. Yeah, because actually, it's your age is dependent on the number of, or the frequency of events you've faced in life, or and what you've learned or taken from it. I think so. That's been my biggest takeaway today.
So yeah, I mean, Toastmasters has something for everyone,
Yes.
and it means different things to different people.
Yeah.
Overall, it's a very positive community to be a part of.
Very positive.
It's a community in real sense of the word, I think.
Yes. Totally.
And Divyansh, that's all. That's about as much selling I can do. So
Yes,
rest is up to you.
yes, we are that hard
as
selling. Like he's
as
feeling very
honest as
odd.
Dipsendu can get.
He probably feels like
Uh,
we are trying to convert him or something. Okay.
this was a great pitch. Great pitch. I'm in.
Yeah.
तुम्हें पैसे निकाल देता.
Uh, too unfortunate. I've been scammed 3 times, so I don't have any money.
No, you will soon have,
Yeah,
right?
you will soon
You
have.
invest
Yeah.
in
Yes.
Toastmasters is an investment. Now I'm talking.
Sure.
Okay,
Yes.
I will just shut up and just go back and think if it makes sense to you to do join it, because then you can visit other clubs and there are many
Yes.
things
Yeah. There are lots of
Yes.
to
things.
extract out of
Yeah, you
Toastmasters.
can just come in like this also, guys.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Keep
Don't don't
dropping in.
don't think that if next time also you come, we'll all start like jumping on
No,
you
no,
and everything. Today there is
nothing of that
nobody.
sort.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then don't say, अरे नहीं नहीं उस क्लब में नहीं जाना है यार वो मतलब
हाँ,
क्यों पढ़ते
भाई
हैं यार.
आप आओ फिर भी आओ,
हाँ
आप
इसके
आके
बाद
रोज
मैं
ले
तो कुछ
लो,
नहीं
ऐसे
बोलूंगा.
कोई बात नहीं है, ठीक है?
Yeah. No. Really. Thank you, everyone. Of course.
Good.
ठीक है, okay चलो,
बढ़िया.
bye guys.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Bye
Good
bye.
one.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Yes. Thank you. Bye bye.
Have a great day, everyone.
Yeah.
Yes, you too. Bye bye. Thank you. Bye.